you want to give us your name on the?
Yeah, my name is Jeanette Grode. My date of birth is 9/13/78.
Hey, way to be part of the solution. Good job.
Come fucking arrest me.
Good job.
I'm first, not color, race, or sex.
What's your name?
This is not even fucking 70. My name is Jeanette Grode. You can report me to the police. I will pay for damages if you want me to. Fuck all of you. I've been prejudiced against black people and Hispanic people, and everybody has. I'm sure you've been prejudiced against people as well. I don't give a fuck. Do whatever the fuck you want.
All right.
It's love and unity, not to replace a white man with a fucking black man. That is not fucking unity. Yeah, you can go ahead, shake your head. I've read the white privilege book or whatever the fuck else you want for Unity Spiritual Center. I don't give a fuck.
Well, well, welcome to the beatzillapdx official show. I am beatzillapdx officially. Oh, yes, indeed. And as you already see what time it is, so I figured I'd start the show off on a correct note. Oh, goodness. Will y'all let me know in the chat if my voice is sounding normal? Let me know, because sometimes I listen to the playback and my voice be sounding a little janky. Matter of fact, will y'all let me know in the chat if my voice is sounding normal? Let me know, because sometimes it sounded a little janky. Hold on, let me do something real quick. Where am I at? Okay. All right. Can y'all hear me now? Okay. All right. Can y'all hear me now? All right. That's better. Cool. Looks like we got that fixed. So, as we have seen, we have a brand new Karen that has popped up in my city. We are calling her Mount Tabor Karen. So if y'all have seen, there is a York statue that is at the top of Mount Tabor, which is a local park. It's where our reservoir is as well. So to get up to where she was actually is a little bit of a hike because you can't even drive up there. Let me see who we got in the house. We got here. Judah Queen, Oyele Arquette, Silent D, Black Gravity, Ayan Mayat Bay. Yes, indeed. All right. And Queen Adia. All right. Yes, indeed. So, she went on to proceed. She was upset. And first off, let me let you know what her name is. Her name is Jeanette Grode. Grode. She said Grode. It's Jeanette K. Grode. She's actually a twin, come to find out. Now, yesterday, when this first got posted, a musician friend of mine first shared it because he actually follows the guy that filmed it. So then he went ahead and shared it. So, now Willamette Week, which is a local smaller media, got a hold of the story. So they've kind of loosely touched it. And but the one thing they're not doing is releasing this woman's name. So the first place that I know of, she's a twin. And her information wasn't hard to find. And I think this is probably why the media is not really giving her information out there. They're even blurring, they're blocking out her name. So when she says her name, they're blocking it out. So just in case you missed it, we'll play that again and let her be very clear and legibly. Let her speak to you, and then we're gonna do a little bit of education, and maybe she didn't understand what she was talking about. So let's just take a look at her antics.
Do you want to give us your name on the
Yeah, my name is Jeanette Grode. My date of birth is 9/13/78.
Hey, way to be part of the solution. Good job.
Come fucking arrest me.
Good job.
I'm first, not color, race, or sex.
What's your name?
This is 9/70. My name is Jeanette Grode. Report me to the police. I will pay for damages if you want me to. Fuck all of you. I've been prejudiced against black people and Hispanic people, and everybody has. I'm sure you've been prejudiced against people as well.
What a projection!
Do whatever the fuck you want.
All right.
It's love and unity, not to replace a white man with a fucking black man. That is not fucking unity. Yeah, you can go ahead, shake your head. I've read the white privilege book or whatever the fuck else you want for Unity Spiritual Center. I don't give a fuck.
And that right there is what you call a male flame out. Whew. See, again, like I'm saying, we're not judging people based on their skin color. We are judging based on your content of your character. And hey, Karen, Miss Jeanette Grode, this shows Jeanette K. Grode. This definitely is letting everybody know how you feel on the inside. Now, what you guys may not know. Okay, thank you. Well, looks like Google's already in the chat. So, what you guys may not know is Harvey Scott was the previous statue that was there. So while all of the unrest was going on here in Portland last year, somebody, definitely went up there to the Mount Tabor Park and got to that Harvey Scott statue and knocked that bastard over. Now, some of people would like us to look at Harvey Scott as a hero, but what you're going to find out is why they turned it over was Harvey Scott was actually a slave owner. There's a school named after him here. Guess whose community that school sits in? Matter of fact, my youngest child graduated yesterday, and the valedictorian at that school gave a speech. And guess what school she went to? Harvey Scott. See, now if you guys was watching my program last week, I spoke on the critical race truthology. And see, what they're having such a great problem with is the truth, not rewriting history. So what they're kind of unknowingly or kind of willfully but low-key admitting is that they already rewrote history. So they don't want the truth of the true history coming out. So let's just go take a peek at who York is. Let me show you. This is his brief bio. Can y'all see that? So that's just letting you know basically who York is. And of course, him being one of the, let me get that off now. Him being one of the pioneers, he gets left out. There's statues, buildings, schools of everyone else. Guess who's left out? Well, without further ado, let's take a look and listen and get a little bit of actual history on one of those people that they like to leave out. See, this is the importance of critical race truthology, is also letting you know that there were black people present. They weren't just slaves. You dig? Hello, Nichelle Hardgrave. How you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, let's go. Go.
Can Americans travel with the Lewis and Clark expedition? Yes. We present York, the forgotten hero. York. Let's learn about his journey. In 1803, President Thomas Jefferson commissioned a westward expedition across the United States after the $15 million Louisiana Purchase. Captain Meriwether Lewis and then Second Lieutenant William Clark were selected to lead the journey across the nation. The journey became known as the Lewis and Clark Expedition, also called the Corps Discovery. Although not highly publicized, an African American man by the name of York accompanied the group across the newly acquired land. He did not do so as a volunteer, but as a slave. The main purpose of the expedition was to map the new territory, study the area's plants and animal life, and geography to learn how the land could be exploited economically. Another reason was to establish an American presence in the new territory before any other European powers tried to claim it. Another goal was to establish trade and sovereignty over the indigenous nations near the Missouri River. What do we know about the African American man that traveled with the Lewis and Clark expedition? What we do know is that he was born in 1770 in Virginia. His immediate family consisted of his mom, Rose, his father, Old York, his sister Nancy, and brother Yuba. He eventually died in 1832. York was the childhood companion and personal slave of William Clark. In 1785, he and his family were forced to move to Kentucky with the Clarks. York grew up as a hunter and a woodsman, and ideally, the skills he learned in his youth served him well during the most prolific exploring adventures in the history of the United States.
Okay, real quick. Judah Queen, do you remember something you said yesterday? You said you had mentioned that you notice how a lot of these white supremacists have dogs. One of the tie-ins to that is because they don't have these slaves anymore. So what a personal companion? What's a personal companion right now to this day? So the whole reason why you see a lot of these white supremacists with these dogs and whatnot, because they use dogs for hunting. They didn't use dogs for companions. They had slaves. So this is why, because they lost that pet that they were used to. Although we have some like Jim Clyburn and others trying to get back to being a pet.
The journey across the nation would take York and the crew more than 8,000 miles from west of the Mississippi to the Pacific Ocean and back again. During the journey, Lewis and Clark kept meticulous notes that often included York's personal adventures. Just like the unpredictability of ocean waves, York's life was turned upside down during the time he spent on the expedition. It was customary for slaves to be considered inferior and subservient to whites. In many ways, York lived a different life while on the journey.
You think?
January 20th, 1805, Clark wrote that when establishing relationships with some of the indigenous people, York prepared fruit and stewed tea for some of the ill Native American men, and that he was the principal caregiver for Sergeant Floyd, one of the major expedition members who fell ill during the trip. York was
Check this out. So now this is the statue that woman is so upset about. This is who we are talking about right now. This dude was basically a physician as a slave. And on top of that, he was building their huts.
not only a caregiver for the men, but he had other skills that he utilized during the trip. On June 5th, Clark wrote, York swam to the sandbar to gather greens for our dinner. Apparently, Clark had fallen ill, and York was sent to gather nutritious food for Clark and the other travelers. York often utilized his skills as a hunter. On September 9th, Clark wrote, "I directed my servant York with me to kill a buffalo." York also killed elk and other small animals.
Small animals are irrelevant to a person that is killing a damn buffalo. Do you hear how G this dude was? And he was doing this all while being a slave. That's what's so crazy about it. That's what's so crazy. And we don't want this information told. Number one, why would you cut out such an influential person? And we're racist for wanting to teach true history? Come on now.
Although York was used to hunting and gathering food and even being a caregiver, he was given other responsibilities along the way. York went out on scouting trips and ventured out alone to trade with the local village members.
Right, I'm
On
out there.
several occasions, York's presence secured the success for the band of travelers. York was often front and center to assist Lewis and Clark in negotiating with the indigenous people.
Now, see how important he is? Now, as far as negotiation sake goes, he is extremely valuable and important there, right? Almost like may saying having black senators and black mayors and black governors and the, the congressional black do nothing caucus, and a black president, so-called black vice president, to still do nothing. But they needed this person so they could conquer our native brothers and sisters and take their land, to which I live on stolen land right now. We all up in Chinook territory around here. All of it.
When the expedition needed horses to cross the Rocky Mountains, the Shoshone were unwilling to barter with Lewis until they got a glimpse of the black man York.
You hear that?
Clark wrote in his journal about the peculiar treatment of York by some of the native tribes. The Nez Perce called him Raven's son for his color and the mysterious nature that he embodied.
Now let's sift through the bones on that one. The reason why they were so enamored with him is because he's already been dealing with them. You know, you had Maroons, you had the Seminoles, and they were already coming from the east to the west. So of course he would be more familiar with these people, and I'm sure they probably wondering like, what you helping them for? Because they weren't even going to deal with the white man at all. They had already had their fill by then.
The Hadasta chief named Labarge tried to rub the black off of York's skin, thinking it was paint. Clark wrote, York pulled a knife on that chief. York was often on the front lines and encountering the natives throughout the trip. And when the Corps Discovery reached the Pacific Ocean, all of its members voted on where they would spend the winter, including York and Sacagawea, who is a Native American woman traveling as an interpreter with the men. The captains had a practice of naming geographical locations after prominent people connected to the trip. Clark named 2 geographical features after York. The first was a group of islands located in Montana. The second feature named for York was called York's Dry Creek, which was a tributary of the Yellowstone River located also in Montana. However, the name did not stick and soon became known as Custer Creek. Despite the success of the trip and York's
So they took the black man's name off of it and put a white man's name on it. Y'all catch that one?
Prominent position while on the journey. Unfortunately, the return home was not a positive experience for York. All of the other men of the Corps Discovery received money, land, and accolades upon their return, except York. Despite the significant role he played during the expedition, York was forced to fulfill his normal duties as a slave. He did not receive money, land, or congratulations for a job well done. So what happened to York? Claims were made that Clark eventually freed York, but no papers have ever been found showing that that actually occurred.
Because it
Zenas
didn't.
Leonard, a famous explorer, wrote in his journals, Narrative of Adventures of Zenas Leonard, that in 1834 he crossed paths with a black man living among the Crows in north central Wyoming. Perhaps we will never really know York's true fate. What we do know is that people eventually began to recognize and pay homage to York for his contributions made during the Lewis and Clark expedition. Eventually, several plaques and markers and statues were erected to commemorate York, along with the other members of the Lewis and Clark expedition.
It took forever, by the way.
In 2001, then President Clinton posthumously honored York by presenting him with the title Honorary Sergeant, Regular Army. York was the first African American man to cross the continent, and although relatively unknown, was instrumental in the success of the exploration. Remember his story.
Uh-huh. Well, now that was informative, wasn't it? So what this woman is upset at, and think about what she said about unity. This isn't unity. And being upset that an actual slave owner was removed. This woman is 42 years old. Not that she looks it, but nonetheless, she is 42 years old. And again, this is Jeanette Grode, Jeanette Grode, Jeanette K. Grode, and she lives in well, right now it's saying she lives in Idaho, but this is in Portland, and considering how she was up there, her information isn't hard to find. I'll just put it to you that way. But again,
Do you want to give us your name on?
we go back.
Do you want to give us your name on the?
Yeah, my name is Jeanette Grode. My date of birth is 9/13/78.
Hey, way to be part of the solution. Good job.
Did you hear that? I mean, she told you everything about what she did, who she is. And what I want to say is that part right there in our local media is getting to completely edit it out. So I get editing out the cuss words for TV, but these local news media channels are editing it out on YouTube. Why would you edit it on YouTube? So we're not going to do that here.
Give us your name on the.
Yeah, my name is Jeanette Grode. My date of birth is 9/13/78.
Hey, way to be part of the solution. Good job.
Come fucking arrest me.
Good job.
42 and what, dog years? Right, son.
Not color, race, or sex.
What's your name?
This is not even fucking 70. My name is Jeanette Grode. Report me to the police. I will pay for damages if you want me to. Fuck all of you. I've been prejudiced against black people and Hispanic people. And everybody has, I'm sure you've been prejudiced against people as well. I don't get
That projection right there, always kills me. I'm sure you've been prejudiced against other people. And no. You hold your own sin. Don't try to put that evil on someone else. Well, I'm sure you did it. No. I can't stand when people do that. No, I don't do what you do. Don't relate yourself to me. I don't do nothing like what you do. Well, I'm sure you do. No, you're not. But that's what they do. I mean, man, let me show you something. And she's upset. Now, this is what I'm gonna be watching how the response from like the local media is about to be, because they are going out of their way to hide this woman's name. That's why I wanted to make sure that I found what I could find before all of this was scrubbed off the internet, because her Facebook is already gone. And she was trending on Twitter today. Yeah, she was trending on Twitter this morning. Let's see here. And as well as she should. I mean, because, again, when you have people doing that so boldly and so proudly, then basically telling you how they don't give a damn, well, then that type of energy deserves that type of attention. Don't you think? She says she works for the Oregon Forestry and the Read something. Silent D knows. And she works for like a little substation, but it's literally, she works for the state, the Oregon Forestry Department. And so, I'm just, noticing how everybody is conveniently avoiding mentioning this woman's name on our local news. Let's see. And it's pull up summer. It's like the first thing that came up. Pull up summer. Let's see. There we go. There we go. Grode. Let's see, here's some more. So let me share the screen. Share. And with the sound. All right. Y'all see that? So she's trending a little bit. That's me. That's what I just showed y'all. Silent D. Like this woman is getting at work. This is on Twitter. What a message. And that's her. I think there's a clear picture of this woman too. But she's so bold with it though. And again, I just, when you have somebody, oh man. Yeah, look at this. They getting on her. They getting on her. Why does it take so long to arrest thugs like Jonathan Penn? Oh, yeah, that's right. That's the dude that was the dude from what, South Carolina? Or Amy Cooper? Oh, man, I'll say. And they let her go. And now we got Jeanette Grode. And one thing that's interesting about this, he's Reed Sport. That's right, Reed Sport. The one thing about this is she's literally in the commission of a crime. Why would the news be blurring out her name? And then she says her name and then her birthday. Yeah, has she been arrested yet? Let's see if there's any comments here. And I'm telling you, the news has not mentioned this woman's name. Nope. See more replies. Let's see what's going on. Oh man, they dropping hella info on this woman, ain't they? Wow, people went in. Huh. Well, I mean, this is on Twitter. It's gonna be a rough weekend for someone. Yeah. I mean, boy, she just threw everybody under the bus, didn't she? Oh Lord. Oh man. So, there. I wanted to get the clear. That's what I wanted. I wanted y'all to see this good, clear picture of this woman. Yeah, buddy. Can I make that any bigger? No, I can't. Yeah, take a look at that. She's 42. I'm sorry. Woo wee. I mean, good grief. Y'all seen my wife. My wife is 42. Oh, black don't crack is a man, is an understatement in this case, ain't it? Jesus. But anyway, what's interesting about this is, doesn't it kind of look like she's doing the print sign in the purple paint? I don't. What is the signage about? And then let me spray paint over York. Oh goodness, it was really that important for her, wasn't it? Oof. But yeah, they're protecting her. She looks twice her age. Yes, she do. Yes, she do. God. Oh man. So let me play another little quick piece on the good brother York. Oh, you bet she does. Yes, indeed. Okay, where's this guy at? One of these guys in this clip is, I'll play the whole thing. One of these guys are actually black. He's gonna look white. It ain't Purple Rain, that's for sure. Man. I don't know why the fiddle's playing.
Let's see the members of the Corps of Discovery. We have Meriwether Lewis, William Clark.
Well, I definitely know Lewis and Clark. We got Lewis and Clark.
So there's Lewis and Clark, Toussaint Charbonneau.
Jessica Gouy and her husband, right, and their son.
Charbonneau. And we have the three sergeants, Pryor, Ordway, and Gass.
George Trouillard.
Coulter, Bratton.
Joseph Whitehouse.
Pierre Cousin.
There is York.
York.
In a story as big as the Lewis and Clark expedition, some explorers fade into the void of history, while others become larger than life. And in a life story as complex and debated as York, how do you define man from myth? Or do you even have to? When it comes down to it, what makes one man's story significant? To gain a better understanding of what makes a person's story significant, we will be talking to visitors and staff about what draws them to the story of York.
York, as far as my experience with our Northwest history, was significant to the point that he was the only African American member of the expedition, and the fact that his contributions that we know that weren't realized until later years after some involved research because it would not have been popular for an African American to be experiencing walking around with a rifle fully armed with a major expedition that involved the expansion of our U.S., our nation, our boundaries.
They encouraged him to participate in exploring. They gave him a rifle. He was a very good hunter.
So, he got to carry guns, he got to hunt. He worked as hard as any of the other men, maybe harder. He was with Sergeant Floyd when he passed away, stayed up with him for 2 nights, ministering to his needs.
He really helped one of the members when he had a ruptured appendix.
Some people call him the medicine,
big medicine,
because
Big medicine.
strong. He could help other people. He helped Sacagawea when she was sick.
York was a hunter. He was a general laborer. York was likely one of the people chopping down trees and hauling wood.
Well, I think he displayed a lot of leadership and played a role. And it's important to know that, had he been back home, his life would have been very different from the one that he ended up leading here in the West.
He was a celebrity among many of the tribes who had never seen a black man before. For them, or at least for some of them, black was a symbol of power. Many of the tribes painted themselves black in preparation to go into battle. And so to find...
They had seen black people before because they came from black people. Stop it. God. That's $5 Indian talk if you ain't never heard.
Find a man who is naturally black is quite something for them. There was a Dotsa Indian chief who had never seen a black man before, but he heard about York, so he came to see him, but he didn't believe he was really black. He said, oh, he's got to be painted black, just like we paint ourselves black. So he comes in and he sees York, and he decides he's going to test it. And so he actually spit on his hand. He rubbed it on York's skin and was astonished when the black would not rub off.
Get the hell out of here.
I think what attracts me most about York's story is just thinking about the lesser known members of the core discovery. And for me personally, as an African-American person, I guess I get a lot out of knowing that
yeah, this dude's African-American, huh?
Whenever there was new areas to be discovered, the history of that always included African-Americans.
So on the return trip, when the party left here in March of 1806, York experienced a lot of the same scenarios that he did on the way out. Recognition, hunting, working just as hard as anybody. And then when the Corps gets mustered out in September of 1806 in St. Louis, everybody's getting their double pay, their land grants. And I can just imagine in my mind's eye, York walking up to the table and saying, Captain Clark, what do I get? And he said, what do you mean, what do you get? That was then, this is now. Yeah, you carried a gun and you did this, you did that, but now we're back on my home turf and now you are my servant again. And I just try to think what York must have been processing in his mind, feeling.
You damn devils. That's what he was feeling and thinking. What the hell you mean? I just got to wonder what he was thinking. What must he been processing in his mind? That y'all some devils, man. That's what he was thinking. The hell you think? He done did all of that, risked his life, broke his back, and almost died out there for your ass to get it to something for everyone else. And then get there and not even get any kind of, not a reward, but not even recognition. Neither. You get nada. Matter of fact, put these chains back on your neck. And we don't need critical race theory, which I call critical race truthology. No, that's not debatable if we need to discuss the truth. That's not a debatable issue. And it definitely is not debatable to foundational Black Americans, grassroots, or the new Black media. We will not be having that discussion. Let's go.
Like to use that term again, one of the guys, one of the active participating members of the Corps, and now he's relegated back to slave status.
I can understand how hard it was for him to leave his family, because I have my family in California, and I'm living alone here in this part of town, and it's still trying to get to know what the area is about, what things I should.
That's a horrible comparison.
Knowing what to expect as well. So although I can't understand the gravity of the situation, I can get a glimpse of how he must have felt coming here with an expedition.
Coming as a slave.
In Oregon. My father was a scoutmaster, and we knew all these different things. And once I realized that there was this African American involved in it, I felt a kinship, because prior to
I don't really want to touch that, but he said his father was a scoutmaster.
that, any kinship of the history, we were kind of relegated to be just slaves.
What intrigues me is how York went from a slave with only limited abilities to spending over 2 years exploring the unknown, and was able to do everything any other Corps member did. But then to come home after this journey and be treated like he had never left. Many people are drawn to the story of York, whether it be because they identify with him personally through experiencing
absolutely
or because
terrible.
The story is unique and different in the history of our country. We all have stories and voices to tell them. What makes them significant is when they touch the story of another.
Woo! So that again is basically what she's mad at, and it's insane. But just think of the ideology of think of everything that's going on right now, and how the media is protecting their image. See, just like when I posted yesterday on my Twitter. Let me get to my Twitter. So yesterday I made a post that for some reason had gotten so much movement. Actually, well, I didn't even post it yesterday. I posted this a couple of days ago. But for some reason, it ended up getting a lot of attention for whatever reason. Let's see. Can I get to that? Where's my page? Let me go to my profile. Please go to my profile there. Yeah, so I posted the picture. If y'all follow me on Twitter and Instagram, then you have seen what I posted the other day. And just the response, let me show you this picture. Let me show you this. Yeah, y'all see that right there. And, somebody hopped on my feed talking about, oh, well, this is they're all Democrats. Listen here. When it comes to us and justice doesn't look like a political party. Justice looks like calling out all of that. And what that is not a political party. That's devilry. Simple as that. Wicked. Straight up devils. Now you tell me, what political party is that attached to? And at the end of the day, I had to ask this troll, do you believe that there is white supremacists in the leadership in both parties? He was done. I mean, he was long done anyway, but just for the simple fact of letting people see this is a desperate, ultra desperate attempt at preserving the image of superiority, which has greatly taken a major L January 6th. And they're trying to do everything within their power to make that go away. Y'all remember Christmas? The week of Christmas, that dude blew himself up down there in, where is that, Louisville? Blew up a whole block. They trying to make all of this go away. So, not to mention, You have all these police still shooting folks down like it ain't nothing. In the same flip side, you got all of these white mass shooters just going nuts. You got crazy looking white boys with Asian girlfriends out here running around shooting kids on freeways. Oh, when will it end, y'all? Well, I'll tell you one thing. We got to start looking at our situation a different way when it comes down to people who are not on code. Because there's going to be people coming out in just wait for it. There's going to be black folks coming out. Man, y'all shouldn't be giving her name out there like that. Y'all just watch. Y'all just watch. Man, why y'all doing that woman like that? You all trying to ruin her life. Miss me. She said she didn't care. So let that same energy hold. You understand? I'm not finna shed no tears for that woman. But see, this type of thing, this is why we need critical race theory. And something that at this graduation that I was at for my son yesterday that I really want to point out is that they actually had quite a few black graduates that were actual activists. So just looking at the transition of where we're going, Queen Ahmadiyya Shakur did a broadcast earlier today about a high school that is stopping selling yearbooks because of the Black Lives Matter page. And I mean, they had all of these other political situations going on in that yearbook. But when it came down to Black lives, then all of a sudden it was a problem. So when you have that, you got to address it for what it is, because these people want your children not to be aware, like a lot of people before us were. And they learned the truth late. They learned the truth very, very late in the game, that they were not able to combat, those spiritual arrows that were being thrown at them, and them darts. See, a lot of people like the Donald Trump haters, they believe racism only comes out of the mouth. No, racism is within. So it will go through everything. And it permeates through everything. It infects everything because it's a cancer. So you got to look at it like that. So there's not just a little. When you see just a little, that means there's a lot. Just like Hunter Biden's emails. Somebody's probably telling himself right now that, well, I'm sure his father doesn't talk like that. And I say to you, you are dumb as hell. Because if you believe that apple didn't fall from the own tree of just using black folks as props is new. Right now, you got Jim Crow, Joe Biden in office to just sign another crime bill at a time to when we have the most, it's the least jailed population in like over 85 years in America right now, just during COVID. Although times are dire, crime's not high. Shootings are high. Usually when you see crime across the board, it's going to be targeted in areas, not just, oh, we're just out here randomly shooting. Bow, 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 bow. Peep the hustle. Peep the hustle. If you're not filling those prisons, there's a whole lot of killing going on out here. So that means there's a lot of killing with nobody being caught for doing the killing. But they're doing a whole lot of talk about taking guns. See, what it is when the devil knows his time is short, they got to start closing off all the avenues. Just like, look at it like this. If you knew that there was a group of people you had in your possession that had a something on the inside, well, then you got to put something in their face to, kind of distract them, right? And, keep them and say, well, hey, that feeling you have inside, it actually comes from us and we put it there. You know what I mean? And unfortunately, a lot of people have fell for the okie doke. It happens, It definitely happens. But it's preventable. Like, again, when they have things that can capture your mind. And I use this one because this one is so funny. Look at this woman right here. And then look at the woman behind her. That's how they want y'all. See how she watching her? Let me play that again for you. Just keep an eye on that. Watch. She's in there in deep prayer and deep thought while this woman is just praying on her. That's why they don't want you getting this good information that we give out here at the New Black Media. Because again, when you get the truth will set you free. And they don't want the captives free because we're the captives. They've had us here forever. Oh man, did you see the woman in the back, Judah Queen? She making sure like you stay in that sunken place now. No, you make sure you staying in that sunken place. Got that Florida Ever spirit on you, boy. White Jesus is the only one I know and love, and he don't need no help. Lord. So, I just wanted to hit this real quick. So I wanted to touch on Miss Jeanette K. Oh, and she's not married, by the way. Not really surprised there. But Miss Jeanette K. Grode, and share her name since the lamestream, live stream media is doing their damnedest to hide her identity. She's 42 years old, born October 9th, 1978, so she says. Who can be mad? Who can be mad? Oh, man. And, again, I'll just give it to you one more time because, hey, she wanted it, right? Make sure y'all tag the Oregon Forestry. If you share this video, please, on Twitter, tag Oregon Forestry in this video. Shoot, and mainstream media for that matter.
Do you want to give us your name on the?
Yeah, my name is Jeanette Grode. My date of birth is 9/13/78.
Hey, way to be part of the solution. Good job.
Come fucking arrest me.
Good job.
I'm first, not color, race, or sex.
What's your name?
This is not even fucking 70. My name is Jeanette Grode. Report me to the police. I will pay for damages if you want me to. Fuck all of you. I've been prejudiced against black people and Hispanic people, and everybody has. I'm sure you've been prejudiced against people as well. I don't give a fuck. Do whatever the fuck you want.
Alright.
It's love and unity, not to replace a white man with a fucking black man. That is not fucking unity. Yeah, you go ahead, shake your head. I've read the white privilege book or whatever the fuck you want for Unity Spiritual Center. I don't give a fuck.
Unity Spiritual Center. Oh Lord, she was super triggered, wasn't she? Oh no, kids, no, she's Let me not say that here. I would say for all intents and purposes, well, you know what? She's probably a cat woman because one thing I would more so have pegged her for a I would have pegged her for a dog person. But seeing how she has no dog with her, well, but then again, she went up there purposely to deface this. And again, let me tell you, you got to hike up to the top of that mountain where she was. So she went up there with every intent to commit a crime. And let's make sure we vandalism, because all of this crying that we heard about Black Lives Matter and Antifa and the protests and all they're doing defacing property and they're tearing down statues, getting rid of our history. But as soon as they put a black man's face on up there, wow, the defacing spirit just rose up in her. And made her go all the way up to Mount Tabor. Well, she lives in that neighborhood, so they say. And goes and defaces it in front of people on camera. So, I mean, she's cool with it. So, hey, man, it is what it is. Take the smoke, Karen. You wanted it, you got it. Now, then, let me go back. Let me see. This is just something else that I saw that was pretty interesting. Just in the nature of
to contend me unless
just in the nature of when people can't mind their business and always want to be in ours. Let's just go last back in here. So, and if they can't have their way, then wow, it's just all bad. This is funny.
My uncle lives here. Your uncle needs to go to the pool with you. Why my uncle got to join me, ma'am? Because that's the park rule. Well, listen, the park rules ain't stating that my uncle needs to contend me unless I'm underage, and therefore I am valid to walk to the pool. Sorry. So you know what, Karen? You have a good on day and drive on by, and we're gonna see you sometimes. Hi, bye bye, bye
bye. And that is the energy that you got to meet these people with. You understand me? Oh, my Lord. Because, again, this is how they come in. She needs to climb back up the mountains, back to where she belongs. Maybe that's why she went up there. She had the spirit of the caucus. The spirit of the caucus is strong with you. Oh, my Lord. So again, I just wanted to touch on this subject a little bit. And this is my son's graduation week, so definitely shout out to the graduates of the class of 2021. We have a whole class of voters, and this is something else that I believe they are looking at as well, because these children that just came out and graduated, there was a gang of black valedictorians in my son's class. Majority of them graduated with honors. Damn near the whole class did. So, I mean, I haven't seen anything like that in a long time. And even one of the teachers, my oldest son's teachers, well, she said she had both of them. But she actually came up to us after graduation, was like, this is one of the most major graduations in a long time. So not everybody had such a problem with the learning it at home. And it looks like for our children, they knocked this out the park. It's not us. It wasn't us parents complaining. Just makes you wonder. Just makes you wonder. Well, that's interesting because, Our kids are doing fine. What's up with y'all's? They over here screaming at school council meetings and whatnot. Oh, thank you very much. I'm my babe. Yeah, they be up here screaming on the council. But our children they killed it. So props to all of the graduates this year. For y'all that are on my Instagram, y'all saw me yesterday. We was live. So yeah, it was cool. Really, really cool day. Really cool day. So with that being said, thank you once again. Please like and share this video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not, and hit that subscribe button. Get the all notifications so you can get it. I guess they are actually letting my notifications go out, so that's a good thing. With that being said, please follow me on Instagram at beatzillapdx, and follow me on Twitter at beatzillapdx. And you can follow me on Melanated People at Michael Beatzilla Whitmore, and on Facebook at beatzillapdx. If you feel so inclined, in fact, or if you have any questions, actually, let me do this. If you have any questions or even show topics, you can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. That's ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you feel so inclined to drop something on it, you can definitely give a donation. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. You can drop a donation at CashApp, $BeatZillaPDX. That's CashApp, $BeatZillaPDX. And of course, my podcast, Our Real Truth, on Anchor FM. And with that, I'll be doing, I'm going to start doing the off-screen thing. So and I'll be bringing back the music for that. So I'll be doing those at the evening. So I'm going to move the Our Real Truth to the evening shows. And then this will be my camera angle. So Our Real Truth is going back to off camera. So, which it already mostly was, but this time it will be off camera. Probably still be having some clips here and there, but yeah, gonna go back to that as well. So make sure you follow Our Real Truth with Beatzilla PDX Official at Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Podcasts. There's actually quite a few where you can find that. So you could just Google it and find the links to the podcast for your respective platforms. And with that being said, Babylon is falling. Babylon is falling. Let it fall and let us rise. And, with that being said, let me get this out of here. Always remember to stand firm. Stand firm on the truth. Because that's all we can do. You understand? And don't let go. Stand for something, fall for nothing, and never let go. So, with that being said, y'all have a great, blessed day. I will be back with y'all shortly with another broadcast, So, until the next time, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. Thank you, Royal Family. Be one. Black first, as always. And we stand on the truth like a rock, and we're going to take that truth and stone the devil's brains out until we have conquered this wicked, wicked, wicked kingdom. Shalom, y'all.
Know who Satan is?
Yes, sir.
You don't have to kill him, no. The stone of truth.
Yes.
See, that's what you throw.
Yes, right.
Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.